Okay, welcome back everyone. Today I will introduce to you the topic of calculating production requirement. What is it? So in simplified words, it's how to calculate the input and the output of a manufacturing process. That's all. So why do we calculate this? Because we want to know the input and the output, and because there are defects, so we have to consider them too. I'll show you through an example later. Firstly, the formula. So here are the things, the parameters you need to keep in mind. The DK is the percentage of defect items. O and I is the input and the output. Let me explain the equation, the formula a little bit. I think it's easy for you, but I'll still go through them. So the output is obviously equal the input, right? But we live in a non-perfect world. There will be defects. So we have to subtract the defects here. So the DK here is the percentage of the defect item. You multiply it with the input and you receive the number of defect item. So you subtract the defects from the original input and you receive your output. That's it. And in this case, we assume that we throw away all of the defects. We don't rework them. Okay. Now, there is also an additional formula I want to show you. So if we have a sequence of n-step operation, let me show you through an example. Maybe you have some kind of input here, right? And you have step one, step two, uh, step three, and then the output. So in this sequence, we have three operation, which is n equal 3. And if you have a sequence like this, you can use this equation. So what is this equation for? It allows you to calculate the output and the input quickly. I'll show you through an example later. Okay, so now let's move to an example. We have here the how do I say the information, and a product has a market estimate of 97,000 components. So what the hell is market estimates? It's just a fancy word for the output, the final products. So the market wants to buy 97,000 components. So the end output is 90,000 components. Okay. And we have here how many steps? 3 steps, right? So we have the final product output, which is O3 and 3 step and 3 defect percentage. I'll show you now. I'll solve it with you. Okay, so here are of the formula, and here is the information given. Let me draw a diagram so that you can see easily. So step 1, step 2, step 3, the input. We have the final product is 97,000 components. Okay, we have D3, D2, D1. These are all of the defects item. We don't use them. So we start from uh, the end of the process here and we calculate back to the beginning. So according to this formula, we have O3 equals to I3 1 here. I'll calculate it. So we have input 3, I3 is 100,000 components, okay? So we have I3 here, but I3 here is also O2, right? The input of the step number 3 is the output of the step number 2, okay? So now we have O2. Let's calculate I2, okay? I2 equals to O2. Again, I just use this formula, nothing hard, right? Mm, here we have okay, we have 100 and 1000 components for I2. And the same happens here. I2, the input of the step number 2 is the output of the step number 1. So it equals to O1. All right. So I1 here is O1. Uh, and we have okay, so here is the input of the process of the begin at the beginning. We must have 105,219 components so that at the end of the process after three step we satisfy the market estimate of 90,000 components. Okay, so yeah, this is the example. Now I'll show you a quicker way to solve this problem. That's why we have this formula, right? Here, for the product with n sequential operation. In this example, we have three operation, right? Turning, milling, and drilling. So you can just apply this formula. This is the way number two, right? Okay, way number two. In order to calculate I1, which is this thing at the beginning, instead of going through step like this, you can just calculate them using this formula by using O, O3. Actually, it's ON, but here N is free, right? So I write O3. 1, D1, 1 subtract D2, 1 subtract D3, and you will receive the same result, 105 219, just as what you receive in way number one. Okay, so that's all for this part. So now you have know how to calculate the production requirement. Yeah, okay. Now let's make things a little bit harder. Okay, so at the previous example, you just deal with like a very straightforward process, step one, step two, step three, no assembly or anything like that. But now, what if we make things a little bit harder? So imagine you have here, you have two final products, product number 4 and product number 5. Let's imagine, okay? And to make these two products, you need component 1, 2, and 3. And to make things even harder, product number 4, to make one product number 4, you need 4 component number 1 and you need 3 component number 2. Okay. And to make one product number 5, you need 2 components of the second component, and you need one part of the third component. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense to you. Okay, I'll say it again. To make one product of number 4, you need 4 components 1, and you need 3 components 2. And to make one product number 5, you need 2 components 2 and 1 component 3, as you can see it here. Okay, 7.5 for this. Okay. Let me erase this. Okay, so here is the information given. You have 2 final products, number 4, number 5, and 3 inputs, 1, 2, 3. And here are all the requirements, and here are all of the defects percentage. Okay, so what do we do? How do we find the input? Oh, sorry. We are given the output, but I forgot to mention them. Wait me a little bit. Okay, I forgot to write down the output. So the market wants 100,000 product number 4. and 50,000 product number five. Okay, so how do we find the input of the component one, two, and three? How much should we uh, input so that we have the desired output here? Now let's move backward. So here, 100,000 is how do I say, oh 04, right? Let me write the the formula. Oh 04. Okay. Oh 04 equals to I4 1 minus D4, right? Okay. Now we already have oh 04, so we can calculate I4, right? So I4 here is how much? Ba- không không ba không chín ba. Around 103 92 78. Okay, so it is nearly 103,093. Okay, and the same thing is for oh 05, right? So we can calculate I5 by oh 05 minus 125. So we have much 51, 51,020. Okay. So now we have these two input, right? Mm, but now what do we do next? So in order to have this amount of I4, remember, for one product number four, you need four component of the product one, and you need three of the product two. Okay. So now, how do I see this? O1. So O1 here needs to be, we can calculate O1 by multiply I4 by 4. Okay, which is 103,093, 412, 412,372. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And the same thing goes for O3. O3 right here. To have one product one, you need one product three. Okay, so this is very straightforward. You can have I5 multiplied by 1. Okay. Now, the tricky part here is how do we deal with number 2? Okay. So O2 here, because O2 here, it goes to two branches. So we have to sum them up. So O2 here will be equal to how do I say, I24, which is this path, okay, which is this path, I24 plus I25. Okay, so I24 this path. So in order to make one product number four, we need three component two, right? So I24 will equals to I4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by this, and I25, which is this path, I25 will be equals to I5, right? Yeah, multiplied by this factor by 2, and we have uh wait a minute, 411 319. we have 411,319. Okay, so now we have O1, O3, O2, and O3. So once you have O1, O3, and O2, you can just calculating the input. It's very easy. You just use the formula. Okay. The hard part is you to use the logic right here. I want, how do we calculate I1? So you just need to use O1 like this. The same thing for these things. I believe you guys can calculate it for yourself. So yeah, that's it. This is how you calculate the input of a production process that have assembly parts. The tricky part here is that to make these final products, you need multiple components. Yeah. So you have to multiply this thing to these factors. Okay. It's not as straightforward like this example anymore. So you need to keep that in mind. Just comment down below if I said anything unclear. That okay. I believe that is it for this video. Calculation of production requirement without rework. In the next video, I'll tackle the rework problem. Okay. That's it. Thank you for your attention. I'll see you again soon.